See, the only thing you mentioned was bending your knees. And I'm totally disregarding that.
Right.
Don't need that, okay?
Okay.
I'd like to see it if I could get it, but you know, we've been talking about it for quite some time. It ain't gonna come, okay? And as I said before, you haven't gotten any shorter, so as a result, it's amplified even more. Okay, now, give me a statement as to the ways you could have made that shot. Let's first go through the 3 modifications.
Okay. Modify your aim point.
No, that's the 3rd one.
Stroke.
That's the 2nd one.
See, I was going backwards for you.
Modify position.
Okay.
Okay? Number 1, you don't have the stuff up in your brain.
Right.
You can't give me the answer when we're at ease and there's no pressure on you. So how in the world are you going to do it out there? You're not. You're going to go off the edge in no time at all. Become confused, become frustrated. The dots are flying around in the back of your head like little atoms, and you're not making the corrections. You're getting pissed off. There we go, right?
Right.
Okay. 3 corrections are, 3 modifications would be, if you could, modify position. If that ball was 2 feet, a foot long, if you modify position and give me some negative weight and back off of it, you don't have to change the stroke.
Right.
Same stroke works. But a lot of times you're moving along the baseline there, you're taking it early, maybe you don't have time to back off of it. By backing off of it, what am I talking about? Literally going along the baseline, and as you hit it, push your body weight and give yourself a negative body weight going back toward the back fence. Not talking about running back 2-3 steps and replanting there. You don't have time to do that. But it's that situation again that you're going to, if I'm going to do it and I'm going to move through the ball with my backhand and I'm coming here, boom, then I come up and I'm coming down here. It's like a fadeaway jump shot in basketball, as opposed to just holding position, being stable as a wall, and now you have that additional power without even trying to get it. What you do when you give what I call a negative body weight transfer is you can allow to give me a full stroke, but you've taken the cushion off of it, or added the cushion to it, by going backwards on the shot and giving yourself a negative weight factor instead of a positive weight factor. Positive weight factor would be stepping into it and taking it out in front.
Right.
Negative is jumping, coming off the ground on balance, coming down. Easy to do on a one-hander than it does on a two-hander. Okay, so number 1 is you're going to see all this stuff is there. I mean, it's up there. How do I know? Yeah, that's right. And I know you knew it. You've stored it. But the problem is it's lying dormant. So number 1 is to modify position. Okay, negative body weight or shifting back. Number 2 is to modify stroke. How could you modify the stroke and still make that shot?
I probably could have chipped it. And then
Good, okay, don't go any further. Chip will work. Chip is the easiest, most efficient way to take pace off a ball. So much easier,
Right.
okay? What's another one?
I could have looped it. And,
Looped it, okay, talk to me about the loop.
well, I probably would have overemphasized the top spin and
Overemphasize the top spin, okay?
if I was going to leaf it.
I don't like it.
Okay.
I'm looking for something very specific.
Drop
No. Let's stay on the top spin,
cut. Okay.
since the top spin is what you chose to go with.
Okay. Cross court would have given me more. That's changing the aim.
Hey, hell, you were late on the down the line. You think you're going to be earlier when you go cross court? Very often, if you do go cross court there, I mean, it surprised me that you missed it going down the line.
Right.
But very often, if you go over there and you're late on a shot and you're going cross court, you will hit it long and down the center. So you want, for the same reason, you're trying to get it, you're a little bit late on it, so you try to make up for it, so you whip it a little bit harder, and you're still not going to get it cross court, but you've added too much power on it again, and it carries it long. That's sort of what you did on the down the line, okay?
Right.
How are we going to avoid that? isn't it? It is fun. You know, I was doing my pool a little bit earlier, and I told Wanda one time before, it's just an interesting process because doing my pool is very much like giving lessons, you know? I do the same thing over and over and over again, and then it gets messy again. And then I do it over again, and it gets messy again. And if I don't clean that pool every day, I got a cesspool.
Yep.
Do you see the analogy?
Yeah.
Okay, let's go. Now, that gave you a little bit more time to think through this and give me the right answer.
It gave me more time to think, but it didn't give me more time to find the right answer.
Oh, jeez. Want me to embarrass you?
Yes.
Okay. The term is to go outside the ball. Oh, outside the ball. Going outside the ball is very similar. I've been talking about going outside the ball for 40 years, okay? It's the same concept philosophically as, what do they call it, the reverse topspin stroke or something like that, where they go to the Lone Ranger, they come up and go like this. Yeah, you know what I'm talking about.
Right.
The modern school, okay? But it doesn't break your arm when you come up here. Because basically what I'm doing is, what is going outside the ball dependent on to be successful with it?
The racket back. Getting the racket.
The backswing.
Yeah.
What's the difference with the backswing?
It's like more like bowling instead of bringing it straight back.
Okay, close. It comes back toward the side fence instead of the backswing comes back toward the side fence instead of the back fence, like a bowling motion, okay?
Right.
Good. You got that down. So you see, this is stuff that you knew. You're not thinking about it there. So if you want to use topspin and you're not going to bend your knees, see, this is the thing that kills me, is I'm not a purist in a single stroke. You know, what I say is that and I believe it, and I believed it for years, and I will continue to believe it, and that is that there is nothing either right or wrong or good or bad. There are only consequences to everything that you do. So if you take your racket back this way, this is the back fence, and I'm going to hit it that way, then I'm going to get more power even though I brush up. Unless I do this. The reason players do this and pull up and back like this and give the Lone Ranger back here is because they hit it late.
Right.
And they're trying to brush up on it excessively. Well, that's the same thing we're doing here, but I'm doing it with ease. Because I just take the racket back here, catch the ball late, and now I get the full swing, and I come almost in this narrow an area so that I'm brushing up over my front shoulder. But I'm not coming out this way. The more I come back this way, the more I will go out that way with the conclusion of a stroke. The more I take the racket back this way, the more I can bowl the ball and go in that direction. Okay? I think, you know, one of the reasons you have not developed that shot, that was a very popular shot with the left-handed Australians, Laver, Roach, and Neil Frazier, and guys like that back during my era. And the reason it was developed and the reason it was so used so much was why? Because they were usually playing one-handed backhands. And when they played against a one-handed backhand and the ball was hit low, say I hit a low backhand and it skids on grass and I hit a deep cross court, okay? Then that shot works to go outside the ball to get the lift and the arc and the swing.
Right.
Now the ball's bouncing higher, so as a result, we don't do it as much, but they're doing this. And am I a judge on this shot? From an aesthetic standpoint, I don't like it. I think it's ugly, okay? But that to me isn't my functional criteria to use. From a standpoint of functionality and safety, I don't like this because I do something funny with my arm and I pull back this way at a very high speed. And I think I can hurt myself. I'm going to get everything all screwed up in the shoulder right here. But if I keep it smooth and come up in this manner all the way through, and throw that racket straight up here. The analogy that I've used with you again is what? Pretend that you're in an alleyway and there's a brick building here and a brick building here, and I'm asking you to hit with topspin. So if you use regular topspin, you're going to break your knuckles in the racket head taking it back here, and then you're going to bust your hand when you bring it through here. But if you take it this way, all I need is a pathway this big. That's what I'm doing. And what it allows me to do then is brush almost vertically up through the ball, and I can swing as hard as I want. So when people start talking about racket speed, what they need to do is make sure that the racket speed isn't going laterally in this direction, because it'll give you an additional power source. They're doing it almost vertically straight up this way. And even at times when I was going down the line, I would come straight up over my right shoulder, but it's still a motion that's got some continuous action without a lot of stress. But I like it still a little bit more if I go cross court and I pull it off over the other shoulder. That, to me, that shot would be invaluable to you, because it's what allows you to get the loop and the arc on the ball and not hit it long. Allows you to get the loop, the arc on the ball, and will allow you to take either the forehand or the back. See, as a matter of fact, the reason that I like a two-handed backhand, that's very tough to do with a one-handed backhand, right? But it's very easy to do off a two-handed backhand when you're going to do it. I can almost go push on one hand and pull on the other one and snap that wrist straight up vertically when I'm going to do it. So number two is the change of the racket face when you're going through, the modification of the stroke and going outside the ball as you're going to do it. Let me take it a step further while I got you there, because basically I'm going to take it another step further. And we've talked about this, but not to a great extent. I go with that shot particularly off of a low ball, and that one would have been a little bit more difficult to hit it because it was about a waist-high ball, but not so tough. The one that's tough to do it off of is here. Watch my stroke. If the ball is low, I can't get under it no matter how much I bend my knees. Okay? If I take it back this way and start it here, the ball is still right here, so I'm not getting under it enough. So instead of trying to go under it, I go around it, and I change the spin from true top spin to a rotational spin this way. Doesn't matter what kind of spin I got on. The spin creates a friction with the air, which slows the ball down. So it doesn't matter even if I'm using the slice, although the slice makes it float a little bit more, I can really hack at it, and if I swing real hard with it, but I hit very little of the ball by coming down through it, that thing would go just float softly. Same thing with this. I'm going outside the ball. So if it's low, watch this. I call this a 180 degree to a 360 degree stroke. Low ball, shoe top level, going outside it here, boom, boom, boom. Waist high ball in your strike zone, boom, boom, okay? High ball here. Continue the arc going here, and now give me the windshield wiper coming across it. Okay. So now if the ball's up here high, instead of trying to get topspin this way, which I can't, it's awkward, it's nasty, I come across it. I change my grip a little bit more toward a semi-western, or even a western, and come around this way. So you see now I'm starting the stroke here, low one, waist high, high. So I've gone through a 360 degree arc. Solves your problems. Now, those are shots you want to practice.